Hi everyone, welcome to day 15 of Spark Learning. Today we are going to talk about schema evaluation and enforcement. So what is schema evaluation? Schema evaluation is like delta automatically adjust to the schema when new columns or data types are introduced. But schema enforcement is actually other way around. It restricts the operation if there are like mismatch in the existing schema with the new data coming in, right? It is like we can say kind of opposite, but it serves the purpose. Sometimes if you wanted to make sure that whatever the data is coming should be aligned, you can use enforcement. But if you wanted to make like based on the data changes, you wanted to make changes on this delta table, you can use a schema evaluation. So we'll move on to the Databricks menu, and I just wanted to share a good news. Like we reached 200 subscribers, and I am doing this video. So we'll move on to the Databricks, and we'll take the practical example here. Yeah. So what are the key features of delta table, right? So this is what we have covered in the first session of delta table 2 days ago. So the first one was like asset transaction, schema evaluation, time travel, optimized performance, and streaming and batch support. So this is the same pattern we are following to continue on the session. Yesterday we talked about asset transactions. We have learned insert, update, CRUD operations. Now today we are going to talk about what is schema evaluation and enforcement. Tomorrow going to talk about the time travel. Okay. So this is as I mentioned when I was presenting the slide. So schema enforcement will enforce the schema to avoid the bad, right? Like unnecessarily if there are like invalid columns are getting added, right? If you wanted to enforce that, okay, whatever is my structure, it should remain same irrespective of the changes in the files coming in or the data coming in. You can use the schema enforcement. Clear? Yeah, let us create our same symbol data frame here. So Alice and Bob, right? So we have three columns: ID, name, and age. So we are creating the data frame. You all know how to create the data frame. We have two tuples here, right? So I have used I'm creating this on a delta table in the temp. I'm using override. That means like if there is already a delta table access, this is going to override with this data. Let me run only this. Yeah, I will explain and there and we'll run it once again. So next is we don't need this read. So I'm creating another data frame. So what it has two columns, that is uh, name and employee ID. Here I have ID, name, and age, right? So I have name as Charlie and employee ID as 3. So I have just kept it as employee ID. I will show you. Now we have already create, like when I run this cell, this is going to create this delta table, and then it's going to append it. Let us see what happens. So you might be thinking, okay, it will work, it may not work, right? So you can keep that thought process. I'm getting an error. The error say a schema mismatch detected when writing the data table, right? So they are also giving you a solution. What is that? Use merge. So if you go to detail of error, like most of the cases, you will get the solution what you need. So they are telling you to merge schema, but this error is what we expected or we wanted, right? Because we don't want somebody to add a value like add a schema which is not aligned to us. So now what we can do, let me change this employee ID into ID. I still have name, ID, right? But these two columns are as same as this. So let me run this once again. So what is right? I'm sure like you have an answer in your mind. Just let us, it is aligning with what is going to happen here. Okay, there is no error and the data got inserted. So that is what we need to assume, right? Because you had name and ID. and here also we have ID and name. So when the column names are same, right, it is going to add your data and provide you null for the column which does not exist. So here there is no issue with the column, right? You have the column matching, and whatever the columns are not there, which is allowing us null. You can think about in SQL you are going to insert into multiple columns, right? If the columns are not there, you are going to insert it as null. Okay, I'm just talking, so I need to show you. I'm responsible to show you the. Okay, I can run it here, right? It's the same. Let me take this up. This was there earlier, so I'm going to run this once again all, and it will show you what is there in the updated. So updated is reading the delta table again, so the same delta table. It's not going the error, and it's populating with age as null, right? So you said that, okay, but most interesting part which you have to look at, the order doesn't matter, but the name matters. So here I have my first column as ID, second as name, third as age. Here I have first as name and second as ID. So here it populated very correctly, right? The ID came under the ID itself. Hope this is clear. So my goal was not to show you what was inserting. My goal with schema enforcement was like showing you the error, but I just want you to understand more about how it actually works. So if the column names are different, it's going to throw error, and if there are additional columns, it's going to throw error. So it is enforcing the columns. So that is what, like missing, rename, extra columns, all these things, it's going to throw error. You can practice it. So we'll move on to the schema evaluation. So what is evaluation? That means like it evolves the schema based on your data which is coming into my delta table. Okay. So here story is little different. So what I am doing is like I have a new data which I am going to have this 4 columns. So we had how many columns earlier? We had 3 columns. So now I'm like creating a data frame called new schema df, and I'm writing the new schema df into the same delta table, but I'm setting an option. You can see this, right? Merge schema true. So you remember that error which we got, which was telling you that, okay, if you enable the merge schema true, you would be able to resolve the error, right? So that's the same thing we are doing here. We are saying that, okay, I only had 3 columns earlier. Now if I have 4 columns, add the 4th column. Don't make it complicated. That is what we are telling the system. So let us run this again. Here you can see we had this data 1 2 3 which was already there, and this is the data which is inserted, Charlie, right? 3 Charlie 28 New York. It is inserted. Now you got a new column called city, and you are appending your data again. Well, sorry, you have appended the data without error. You added a new column. Now city was not there earlier, so city will get, like, city got added here. So this is the difference between schema evaluation and schema enforcement. Keep this in mind. Both you would be using based on your requirement. By default, schema enforcement is enabled. Schema evaluation you can set by merge schema feature enabled while writing, right? So when you wanted to, like, make sure that your data set remains same, and if any garbage values are coming in, you wanted to prevent it and throw an error, schema enforcement is required, but you are flexible, and in some cases if you are managing, source file can be dynamic, right? It may keep adding columns. You don't want it to lose the data. You are more focused on data but not on the column names or the changes in the structure. So in that case schema evaluation makes sense. Hope this is clear. This is a very short video which help you to understand what is schema enforcement and evaluation. So tomorrow we'll be talking about time travel. So thank you for watching. Thank you so much for your support which you are giving, and hope this is really helping you how these classes are going about Databricks, PySpark, and now into the Delta tables. So Delta tables is a crucial part when you are learning this Databricks, because this is where you will be able to relate so much about your insert delete operations on top of a file, right? Thank you so much. We'll see you on the next video.